Buddy, good Thursday, September 7 to ya. My goodness, we're already deep into the first week of September. Glad you're part of the show by letting us come along, and thanks for listening on WALT 102.1 FM, listening to the two best hours of local live talk radio right here. I'm Roger B. Say hi to. It's Thursday, of course. It is just my main man, Rob.
Hello.
How you doing, sir?
Doing great.
Things. Your commute in good? Any traffic problems? Everything okay on the roadway? At least eastbound into town.
It was good. Must have got a little bit of rain last night.
Yeah.
Noticed the vehicle was a little drenched this morning, and roadways were a little moist. So must have got a little bit of a shower overnight. So, but
I think you had a little wind with it because I saw some like dead trees that had fallen over, and kind of somebody either squished them in the roadway or moved them out of the way.
I know yesterday I was out at the junior college working a soccer game, and it clouded up a good bit. I know before I left the radio station yesterday, there was some kind of little patchy, rain showers, a couple of thunderstorms on radar. So I know some of the area got a little drenched yesterday. So
I just like the term. I was working a soccer game.
Yeah,
I was out at the community college.
I was slaving behind a hot mic.
I was working a soccer game.
Slaving behind a hot mic in the air conditioner. There you go.
Okay, so you're a hot mic in the air conditioner at the C.D. Smith soccer complex.
Mm-hmm.
A little shout out to our friend CD there.
Yep, his name's on it.
Way to get yourself named on a stadium there, CD.
I told him whenever I get a name on something at MCC, I hope they're listening this morning, and just put it on the urinal at the restroom. Just put a little name plaque above it, like in honor of.
Now, newly opened, it's the Roger B. Landfill over here.
Landfill over at the.
It's between Paulding and between Paulding and Meehan.
There you go.
There's going to be a landfill down there with my name on it.
I love it. Yeah, CD does have his name on the field out there.
Good job there,
nice.
CD. He does listen to the show from time to time, so I just want to shout out there to him. But no, when you say working a soccer game, you're announcing it. So who are the teams playing?
Of course, it was Meridian.
What are the teams playing? What's the right English on that? Who are the teams?
Whatever.
Who's playing?
That's how I like to say who's playing that darn ball game. It was Meridian and Southern Union College out of Alabama was playing yesterday. Tough day for the Eagles, though. They lost 5-2. So
Southern Union College.
Yeah, Southern Union State Community College, to be exact.
Southern Union State Community College.
Yeah, that's a big name in it.
Susk.
They're the
MCC was playing Susk.
Yeah, they're the Bison of Southern Union. That's their mascot.
I don't claim to know everything, so I just am always willing to show my ignorance. Where is that? Southern Union.
I believe it's in Southern Alabama. I believe.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah,
because it's Southern Union State College.
Mm-hmm. They just started their soccer program this year too, by the way.
Southern Alabama. Well, they're off to a good start.
Yeah, I know. They whipped Meridian.
All right, here's the strategy, team. We go out and beat people. We win, okay? That's what we're going to do.
We went over Meridian yesterday and beat the brakes off them boys.
We got, is that like in Mobile, maybe? No, that's okay. We'll just have to
go to the Google machine.
Well, we don't need to Google. We got listeners out there that can call in and tell us. Our number here is 601-485-9191. We can talk about this, that, and the other. By the way, on the show, we're going to have the chief, the skipper, the big guy, the guy in charge of Naval Air Station Meridian,
Wadley, Alabama.
No, that's not his name. His name is Luke Davis.
Oh, sorry. That's where Southern Union go.
Okay.
Sorry.
No. You said Wadley?
Wadley, Alabama.
Okay. Let's take a phone call here at Mornings in Meridian, 601-485-9191. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing today?
Hey, Zane.
We're going to start our day here with Zane, the first caller. Tell him what he's won, Rob.
He's won a pat on the back. There you go.
All right. Come by the studio and we give you a pat on the back.
You've won information on the school bond issue. How about that?
Ding, ding, ding. You're a winner.
There we go. All right. Well, first off, Roger, Penny only has one good leg, so don't make her kick you with the good one this time. So be good when the skipper gets there.
I don't understand because last I knew, Penny had two good legs.
Well, she's limping around now. I was down there the other day. She got a boot on her foot.
Uh-oh.
I thought it was because she kicked you because you got out of line.
Aha!
No, she keeps the military in line. I'm a civilian.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I kind of thought she might have kicked you to get you in line last time.
Not
was
that
on
she
the air.
hasn't wanted to kick me a time or two, but yeah, Penny should be here along with Captain Davis when they arrive. So anyhow, so you were down there. Down there means the Naval Air Station, I guess.
Up there, I was on board the other day doing some work, and
So
I
you-
was working right next to her office, and so I was like, hey, I'm going to drop in on Penny.
Okay, there you go. Good job there, going up to the Naval Air Station, doing some work. That's a good thing to do.
Yeah, I felt naked without my gun there. That's what I hate. You got to leave all your firearms at home.
He felt naked.
Hey, sounds like me every time I jump in the swimming pool.
Whoa.
All right. Well, hey, usually, Roger, I give it to you.
I don't jump in the
and
pool with my
spare
gun.
Rob.
Do what now?
This time I got to give some. I said usually I give it to you and spare Rob.
Yes, you
but
do.
this time I got to spread it around.
Come on.
Come
Rob,
on.
you know what? We print a sticker that will stick to anything.
Yeah.
And my first thought was we can print the Rob Memorial urinal and stick it on the top of the urinal up there
I love
at
it.
NCC.
I love it. We can do it. I don't think Dr. Hubner will mind whatsoever.
No, probably not at all. We can put it in a little target in the middle, say aim here, and put your face on it.
Yeah, there you go.
So this is how the show starts out. Okay.
Potty humor.
Yes.
There we go.
I get it.
Hey, the corner race has been weeded down, so I mean, we got to do something else.
We've been lacking on the corner jokes. I mean, we have gotten down to the finalists here, so we got to get up our game a little bit here.
Absolutely.
We don't have any
that's it.
we don't have any jokes that are killing anybody. We're just kind of lacking there. I know.
Well, we'll get you a proof on that.
There you go. I appreciate it.
I thought you were going to call us and tell us where Southern Union State College, community college was.
Where is Wadley, Alabama at? That's where I looked it up, and that's where they're located at.
I don't know. I'm kind of familiar. I used to work in Troy, so I'm kind of familiar with lower Alabama there.
You used
but
to
I
work
just
in
don't
Troy.
know.
I told Roger, I said Southern Union State. I figured it'd be in Southern Alabama, hence the name. But I looked it up, and it said Wadley, Alabama.
Well, if you go down Highway 22, it's right next to Louina.
Okay.
Or Louina, however they say it. So it's right there. I mean, if you want to know where Wadley is, you just go to Louina.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm still lost. So,
I was about to say.
Well, it's all just east of Almond, Alabama.
Okay, yeah.
Now, if
That's over there by that fork in the road, and then you
so-
take that left turn over there by where the shed used to be at.
well, now if you go down there to Mellow Valley, and if you go to Mellow Valley and you turn on Route 77, you go through Almond, then you'll come to Wadley.
All right. I bet cell service is fantastic through there.
Now, if you keep going and then make a right turn, 77 kind of forks off at 22, and you come to Abanda, Alabama. So, are we all clear now where it's at?
yeah, I'm familiar with it. I can get there. If I need to get there, I can get there now.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. It's in the middle of no stinking where.
Exactly. Well, they came to Meridian yesterday from no stinking wear and put it on them.
They put the stink on them, didn't they?
You darn right they did. Going in close.
Anyhow, that's it's just kind of interesting. No, it's south of Anniston, North Alexander City, there on the Tallapoosa River.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so there you go.
Okay. Well, that's a little better there.
Well, I'm having a little. Well, there's a Wadowee. How about that? Anybody been to Wadowee, Alabama? Look at this.
I have.
I love Google Maps
I
here.
have.
You've been to Wadowee?
I sure have.
I think
That's one I know of. I can't remember exactly where it is, but I remember that name going through there.
that'd be so much more fun given my address if I said I'm from Wadowee instead of Tumsuba.
Tumtuba.
The looks I get out of town when I'm, what's your address?
I live in downtown Tumsuba.
And I don't live in Tumsuba, but I'm on the very outer reaches of the post office delivery.
Well,
so.
we talked about North Side and South Side Nellyburg yesterday, so I guess you would live you live on the South Side or the East Side?
I'm on the west side of Tumsuba.
West Side, representing West Side.
I got a west side story.
Yeah,
That's
well-
right. Yeah.
Hey, try living on Succolina Meehan Road.
Wow, that is a long street to write there.
Used to live on Sycalina
Actually,
Meehan Road.
Succolina Meehan Road North.
Yep.
And then you
Yeah.
talk to people like,
Yeah.
do you live at what's your address? And that's you ain't from around here, are you?
Sycalina.
Well, anyhow,
That's always a good one.
there you go. All right. Well, I tell you what, we are now getting confirmation on your story about Penny's leg. Yep. She's
There it is.
She's limping in the studio as we speak. If you're on Facebook, you can
Yep.
see that Penny has entered the studio with mismatched footwear. So
She's like,
And
Stop
I bet
it!
she ain't scared to use that other one on you if you get out of line.
I don't know who she's been keeping in line, but yeah, so I don't know whose it was, but somebody's butt got kicked.
Yeah.
All right. But anyhow, anything else in your world, Zane, before we bid you adieu?
I guess that's about it.
That's
You guys
about it.
Have a wonderful day.
You didn't-
Hey,
you-
I can tell you.
You didn't tell us what you were doing up there at Naval Air Station. Is that like a top secret? You know, it's like you'd have to kill us after you told us?
Well, I was telling some people what the mission was.
What the mission was. What it was.
Yep. I was explaining what the mission was to some people up there.
You were doing some signage.
And, yeah, we put the mission on the wall. Our people are the mission or something
good
like
deal.
that at the credit union.
We are the mission, huh? Is that something like that?
Yeah.
We are the children.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we stuck big old letters up on the wall and everything.
Bank here or you're nothing or something like that, right? Is a deposit here?
Yeah,
or,
something like that.
yeah. Good slogans there.
But
Well,
hey,
listen.
in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be coming on board with you to talk about something. I just want to let you know I'm going to be wearing my new hockey sweater. It was
Nice.
given to me by a WALT listener.
Well, I'll be gone the first week of October if you want to come on then.
Well, okay. You're gone every other week anyway. So 50-50 hit or miss.
You know what? He's got a good streak going.
Come on now. Give me credit
Yeah, he
where credit
does.
due. That's right. I
We're,
decided
10, 11 days now?
they're keeping the coffee hot now, so I'm coming in more often.
Okay.
Yeah, we
well,
got-
I'm sure they kept it real hot for you Monday because you
All
didn't
right.
show up then. So that actually broke the streak.
Well, listen, next time you go through Wadley, Alabama, take some pictures for us, would you? Send us
will
some
do that
pictures.
for you.
There you go. I know they're probably available on this Google Map thing, but
Yeah.
anyhow. I tapped on
Oh, no. What did you do?
the first picture that came up. Can I do this? First picture that came up was an old building, deserted building with vines growing all over top.
All right. That's downtown Wadley right there.
Used to be a booming town. They don't look like much, but they got a good soccer team.
That's a city hall right there.
Do you see what I'm
I
doing?
know. Good. What is that?
I'm sorry, folks. It just
the old-
cracks me up.
That's that old general store you got to take a ride at before you get to campus.
I just want to advise anybody that's out there in Lauderdale County, Meridian, Mississippi, if you get a little depressed about some of the things that we have going on here,
Just look that up.
take your little road trip, go over there to Wadley, Alabama, and check out all the good things they got over there. All right. Well, I've really, I'm not trying to upset all the people across the border there in Alabama. We
Off
appreciate
the
it.
rails.
Yep, off the rails.
Totally off the rails now.
All right.
That's it.
Have a good. You did it. You called in, and no, you didn't. I'm not gonna put that on you. But thanks for the call, Zane. Thanks for being out there.
You guys have a wonderful day. Take care.
Off the rails. I mean, it just struck me.
It's
I mean,
the first thing you hit whenever you click on Wadley, Alabama.
you know when you can touch the Google Maps and it starts showing you pictures of the
Yeah.
region that you're. It's
Sure.
Like the first thing comes up. It's
There's no Wadley.
it's like an old train depot or something. Anyway, you know they beat us, so I'm gonna have a little fun with them, right?
Yeah.
We've earned that, right?
Might as well.
I mean, here's another picture of downtown. It's a little bit better, but anyway, I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
It's Mornings in Meridian coming up on the show. We are going to have Captain Luke Davis here. He's the head man, the guy in charge, the head honcho. He's the mayor of Naval Air Station Meridian, if you will.
Good to be the mayor.
The big difference is he don't have a city council.
Isn't that a beautiful thing?
Yeah. It's good to be the mayor of Naval Air Station Meridian.
That's right.
Yes. We'll talk with him about that when the time comes. But in the meantime, Rob, you and I got an email from Donna Jill Johnson.
We did.
She is the circuit clerk of Lauderdale County, Mississippi.
School bond issue information on the vote. We've got it.
And, of course, the ballot, she sent us a copy of the ballot, the way it reads. Yep. We have the official there. And, of course, we've read it on the show before, but now we have it officially from the circuit clerk's office. And also some instructions about how to check your voter registration card. Remember that card that they gave you when you signed up to vote and then you misplaced it somewhere and you can't find it? I'm not saying that happens, but, you know, that little corner down there tells you where you can vote. So explain what the email said to us.
Okay, the information here, of course, we got the language on the bond election, which is coming up October 3rd. We're not going to read through the bond again because we've done that several times, but here are some very specific instructions from Donna Jill on the upcoming October 3rd election here for the bond issue. Voters inside the city limits are not eligible to vote on this county school bond election on October 3rd of 2023. Most every voter outside the city limits can vote with the exception of a few which are considered located inside the actual, Roger, it says here in quotations, separate school district. So refer to your voter registration card, and if it has a number underneath SCHD, you can vote. If it has SEP under the SCHD, you are not eligible to vote. Your county precinct location will list which of the 4 school locations are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on October the 3rd. We've got those here on this email as well. If you got questions concerning the special election, don't bombard Donna Jill with a ton of phone calls, but she'll help you when she can. 601-693-1683. That's 601-693-1683. And Roger, we're going to hold this up here to the camera.
Oh, we are.
And that's what we got yesterday.
Look at there.
Yeah, there it is. So you see right there, if you're watching on Facebook Live, we've got where it's circled where that location is at on the voter registration card. It's kind of on that corner of the
bottom right corner of your card.
Bottom right corner of your card.
Can't miss it. When it says SCHD, that does not mean see clearly with high definition. It means school district. And
so you see where she's got circled no? That was that example we used, and then circle yes with a number on it. So if it's got SEP on your voter registration card in that corner we just showed you there, then you cannot vote. But if it has a number underneath there, you can. So,
and on the vote, it simply it'll read the bond issue. Well, I know you said we weren't going to read it, but
yeah, you can.
Can
read
I?
It. You can.
Please.
Sure. Teacher gives you permission.
Thank you. Shall the Lauderdale County School District issue its bonds in the maximum principal amount of $12,500,000 to raise money for the purpose of paying the costs, including the cost of borrowing, of purchasing, erecting, repairing, equipping, and remodeling school buildings and related facilities, including a new career and technical education center, purchasing land therefor, performing site and paving work, and providing necessary water, light, heating, air conditioning, and sewage facilities for such school buildings and related facilities. Now, underneath that, it's just a simple for the bond issue, you circle that, or against the bond issue, you circle that. So, pretty simple ballot on the special election for the school bond issue.
Now, on your voter registration card, traditionally, of course, it has the county precinct of where you vote at, and we're going to go over those precincts with you again. I know we've done this several times. We just want to be sure folks get this. If you vote at the Bailey precinct, Center Hill, Collinsville, Martin, or Cicalina for this election, for this bond issue vote, you will vote at West Lauderdale Elementary School. If you vote at 17 Causeyville, Odom, Vimville, Wynot, or Mount Gilead, you will vote at Southeast Middle School. The Landing on 39, New Lauderdale, Daleville, East Lauderdale, Marion, Kewanee, Russell, and Toomsuba If you vote at any of those precincts we just mentioned, you will vote for this bond issue or against at Northeast Middle School. And if you vote at Pickard, Clarkdale, Meehan, South Nellyburg, or 0, you will vote at the Clarkdale Attendance Center. So we're going to, obviously, Roger, I think every day we should read those precincts out pretty regularly, because a lot of folks are going to assume, well, I just go to my regular precinct. Nope. Bond issue vote, you got to go to the schools to vote this time. So
I want you to read it just because I like hearing you say South Nellyburg.
South Nellyburg, South Side. You got East Lauderdale in one of these. East Lauderdale and New Lauderdale.
Well, when you're thinking about the county-wide, that kind of makes sense. You've got different points on the compass for the county. But Nellyburg has points on the compass.
That's right. South Nellyburg.
Is it south? Is there North Nellyburg?
Not a precinct here on it. But
Just south.
We can make one.
So all you folks in North Nellyburg, you don't get to vote for nothing.
So there you go. That's the that's
the rails,
that's the info right there.
All right. Morning. I don't know what's happening here. I got to tell you right now. Let me get serious with you, folks. Premier Paint and Body Shop.
Yes.
Right there on Highway 39 next to Johnson Dodge. When you need something done to your car, something's going to happen. You're going to get a scratch. Somebody's going to bang you in the parking lot. You might be in a crash, and heaven forbid if that happens. I hope you're okay, but the car's not going to be okay. So go to Premier Paint and Body Shop right there next to Johnson Dodge on Highway 39. Go in there and see Danny and all the gang. You can go see them before you need them. Get acquainted with them. Say, hey, I don't know when, but probably going to need you. Want to come just talk to you and get acquainted. And put this number in your phone.
482-7246. That's 601-482-7246. Or as we always like to say, the cool kids say 601-482-PAINT.
Oh, yeah.
They're at Premier Paint and Body, right next door to Johnson Dodge. Can't miss them.
Have used them many times after a couple of deer strikes and just, being stupid, like not latching the trailer down on your truck and the trailer tongue comes up and puts a nice stupid crease in your truck bed. That's never happened to anybody else but me, I'm sure. But they can help you out at Premier Paint and Body Shop. We got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to visit with Captain Luke Davis, Naval Air Station Meridian. Won't back down. All those out there in Wadley, Alabama.
You're definitely not going to run for mayor over there. I can guarantee you that.
Well, I'd like to go make an offer on that deserted train station.
Deserted trains, whatever that is.
Get the vines off of it and fix it up over there in Wadley.
Something for
Alabama.
the latest horror film that's in Wadley there.
Oh, that'd be a great place to film something that gets killed. Good Lord. I'm sorry. Mornings in Meridian, we're glad you're out here. And, of course, in just a moment, we're going to be visiting with, we're going to be on board NAS Meridian in a figurative way as we visit with Captain Davis in just a moment. But first, welcome back to Mornings in Meridian. Roger along with Rob.
Hey, good morning.
And we have a mutual friend, Billy Adam Calvert.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he does a good job running the family business called Southern Business Supply.
Absolutely. And, of course, they're located right there at 5685 Dale Drive in Marion. And I know it's a little tricky to get around right now with that bridge closure there on Dale Drive. But I tell you what, you can always shop online with Billy Adam Calvert and the staff there at Southern Business Supply, southernbusinesssupply.com. Of course, his number is 601-485-2447. Of course, a local family-owned and operated business for 38 years. Good staff there. They carry office supplies, janitorial supplies, those spring water coolers, break room supplies, and they carry a full line of office furniture and home furniture as well. Desk, chairs, filing cabinets, you name it. Billy Adam and them have got it there at Southern Business Supply. And, of course, furniture delivery and setup is available there as well. So say no to those big box stores and buy local. The money stays right here in your community at Southern Business Supply. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And, of course, we always say big thank you to Billy Adam Calvert. He represents us well over there in Jackson. They're in his district, 83. So 601-485-2447. That's Southern Business Supply.
All right. It's time to get underway with Naval Air Station Meridian. Our next guest, I had the privilege of attending his change of command when Captain Brent Moore departed our area and handed over the keys to the Naval Air Station. Here he is. Welcome, Captain Luke Davis. Welcome, sir.
Hey, good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
Glad to have you here, sir. We always like new targets.
Don't we all, right?
He's like, what have I walked into?
No, it's, glad to have you here. Once again, I to people that I meet, I just brag about the tradition of the Navy, of the change of commands, and just the formality and just the great, just a great presentation that takes place whenever there is a change of command. So it's good tradition. So how long have you been in the Navy, sir?
This coming up on 24 years. So.
Wow.
24 years. Thinking about making it a career?
That's right. I'm still thinking about
it. Weighing it over in your mind there?
Yes, that's right.
24 years.
Wow.
Fantastic. Well, one thing we like about hearing that number is that we know that you are one day, don't know when, going to retire. And we always like to invite good people to retire right here in our community. So we're going to do our best to make sure you and your family like Meridian, Mississippi.
That's right. Well, off to a good start. That's for sure.
Are we off to a good start?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Well, come on in that microphone and tell the folks what was your impression when you first arrived at our fair community.
Well, this is like I've told people, this is my second time here. First time was 21 years ago when I got my wings, and
wow.
My impression then was
I remember you flew over real low over the
that's
house.
Right. Yeah, I needed to take a good look.
Thursday?
Yeah, that one. Okay, I remember that. Yeah.
21 years ago.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Right. Yeah. So I lived in an apartment, went to the base to do my flying and simulation and ground school, and so that was really the extent of what I did here, except for go to DT Grinders at the time on Friday nights.
See, look at there.
There you go.
It was a good time. And good,
21
great food.
years ago, so boy, a lot's changed since you came
It
back
has,
here,
yeah,
so.
for sure. So that's, coming back here this time, there's a lot more downtown and just around the area. And one of our first stops for the family was to the Children's Museum, which was a great place and made us feel real comfortable. And it's just a nice snapshot of what's going on here, I think.
Yeah.
So you were a bachelor when you were here training.
Yes.
And then, of course, you returned with a family. So how did you meet tell us who your bride is and your family and where you met and all those good things.
It's an interesting story because we met in San Diego, California, which is a big Navy town, right?
Right.
She's Canadian. And she was there.
You said she's Canadian?
She is Canadian, yeah. She
Oh.
was there for a conference and I think she piqued my curiosity when she asked if San Diego was a big Navy town. So
Yeah.
I was intrigued.
Well, let me tell you, lady, would you like a personal tour?
So I was there briefly. One of my jobs in the Navy. I was a carrier qualification instructor for the younger pilots coming through to get their first landings on board carriers in the EA-6B Prowler. So I was based out of Whidbey Island, Washington. She was up. She did a lot of
That was almost Canada.
cancer research in Vancouver. So we were able to
Oh, wow.
continue our relationship there. So
Yeah.
but yeah, we married out of Whidbey Island basically, and at that point I had been there for about 12 years and thinking I was gonna maybe have to go away for one tour and come back, and we got married. She really liked the area, and then since then we've moved every tour and had kids along the way. So
Great. How many kids do you have there, Kevin?
2 sons. They are 11 and 8.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
They're going to school here at Lamar. So.
There we go.
Well, Fantastic. Well, there you go, Rob. Connecting there to you with the
I like it.
Lamar School. Captain, we have to always investigate. You know, you talk about you joined the Navy 24 years ago. What was it that motivated you to say, "Hey, I want to sign on the dotted line and go put on a uniform"?
Well, I think, well, first off, my grandfather was an Army Air Corps pilot, B-25s.
Oh, God bless
World
him.
War II. And then my father was a Navy pilot, S-2 trackers, so propellers chasing submarines. And
So the bloodline was
Yeah,
part of
like I
it.
say,
That was
in the
there.
blood. It's in the blood. Yeah.
I was there. They weren't pushy at all, but I for a long time, you know, up until about junior high, I didn't really think about it. And then in about 9th grade, really pivotal thing happened. We got air conditioning at the house and also cable TV. And
But air conditioning and cable all
yeah,
at the same time.
it was a huge year.
That was
big
a big
year.
That was
Yeah.
a big year.
Was it like won the lottery or something? or-
I don't. I think my dad just got. It started to get warmer in Minnesota, but
Global warming
that's
again.
right.
There we
yeah,
go.
there it is.
Oh, man.
That was, warm was 80 degrees.
Right.
But
I'm getting tired of these 2 weeks when we actually sweat. I'm going to get an air conditioner.
Yeah, that's
Get
right.
the old AC. Yeah.
So Minnesota is the home
That's
home
correct. Yeah.
State there.
So
Okay.
that cable TV let me see Discovery Wings for the first time, and I saw A6 intruder come streaking out of a canyon with big explosions behind it. And I said, well,
man.
that looks actually pretty cool.
That got you. Yeah.
That's when my grandfather and father engaged.
See, they
and
had
said,
great cable shows back then about
Yeah.
planes and
Oh, yeah.
flying
every
and-
week.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So that hooked me, I think. Then from there it was air shows and going to museums and just pursuing it.
So then you waited 4 years, graduated, and said, "Okay, off I go."
That's right. Yep. Started flying civilian flying and got through aeronautical science degree, and then
Where'd you get your degree?
I went to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University down in Florida.
Okay,
And,
Okay.
Finished.
you can tell the smart Minnesotans they go to Florida
That was it.
to go to school.
That's right.
Just so you know, just want you to know, Rob, that's what the smart Minnesotans do. But yeah, that's a great place down there. So Embry-Riddle, we know where that's located right there, not far from Daytona Raceway. So
That's right.
so you enjoyed it down there. Then off you went. So lots of different tours. What would you consider, other than in San Diego when you met your wife, what would be some of your favorite places on earth that you have landed?
That is. I mean, once we started going, left Whidbey Island, we went to Fallon, Nevada. That was a great tour. Tactical instruction, flying through the desert and practicing for bad times for bad people, right? So that was great. We enjoyed that in the area there. From there, we went to Japan. So went to Atsugi Air Base and then Iwakuni. So lived up in Tokyo and down near Hiroshima. And then from there, deployed all around.
That had to be great.
Yeah, and we so South China Sea. We were patrolling on the Ronald Reagan.
Wow.
And hitting ports that the family actually could get to from time to time. So we got to Korea, Singapore, Australia, just all over the place. And so that was a great time as far as seeing the world and being with the family when I could, but also the flying around the area was pretty interesting.
All that time in the Southeast, tell me your favorite, fried rice or just steamed rice?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, anything with soy sauce.
Anything with soy sauce.
Well, I'll tell you a secret. Have you ever tried soy sauce on popcorn?
Oh, no.
Just if
gotta
you
be
like
good,
soy
though.
sauce, I'm just telling
Really?
you. Give it a shot. Just let me know what you think.
I'm looking at Penny over here. We're like,
just
give us
since
some-
you
Will
mentioned
do,
it, just want to throw that out there.
good, yeah.
Give it a shot.
do you saturate it in there? Just a
No,
little
no.
sprinklage?
Just kind of
little sprinklage?
as you put it in your bowl. Just kind of lightly sprinkle
Okay.
it.
Yeah, shake it up,
Yeah, just very. Don't
Just a
soak
hint.
it. Yeah, just a hint.
Just a little.
Go easy on it. But yeah.
Okay.
All right, now we'll continue our cooking show.
Hey, you
I
brought
can-
it up.
I can cook microwave popcorn. That's one thing I can do.
Well, good for you.
All right, so you flew. You said the A6.
EA6B, yep.
The
So very-
EA6B. I know. I got to get all the nomenclature. That's the Navy thing, Rob. You got to go.
That's right,
You
you
got to
gotta-
know numbers and letters.
Exactly.
But what other aircraft did you, other than the? I guess here we had the. Was it the
T-45. Yeah, Goshawk.
Oh, they had the T-45 way back then.
They did. I started in T2s,
Yeah.
so I was in the Buckeye for half of my intermediate phase of flight.
Those
and,
came in while you were here training.
They were they were already here. The T-45 variant that's here now had just come out about a year prior to me getting here. So
Okay.
I did half my time in the T2, then switched to the T-45 and got my wings.
And then went
carried
to
forward.
the
Prowler. Yep.
Prowler
So
after that.
and from here, launched into a life in VAQ world, which is electronic attack, and so we are the comm jammers. So I'm looking around your station here, just looking for
You're looking at how to cut us off the air.
vulnerabilities. Yeah. So
Looking how he can take us off the air. Right? Yeah. That's his job. That's what he does.
That's right.
I love it. Well, that's
So,
fascinating.
started with prowlers there. So electronic attack VAQ 137 was my fleet squadron deployed on USS Enterprise, and that was during the time of OIF. So into the Persian Gulf and did some time off the carrier in Al Asad Air Base, middle of Iraq. Came back and then
So get these calls. LD, we need a jam over here. That's what they call you in, and off you go, right?
yeah, that's right. Yep, we did
Yeah.
a lot of
His call sign really is LD, Luke Davis. Real creative there.
long story.
Long story. Usually is.
which we will discuss later.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool though. Anything that you can tell us or tell our listeners of a mission that was particularly interesting to you. I know that some of it's fairly routine, but any action that you saw, like over in the sandy part of the
Yeah,
Of the world.
it's varied. So I did that time in Iraq, and then 2 tours later went to Afghanistan, and that was a land-based squadron. So we were in Afghanistan and Bagram, North Afghanistan, and supporting. And so between the two, I guess, countries and campaigns, it was Iraq. We did a lot of convoy operations, so explosive device IED suppression, which we can do. So I guess VAQ world, we have some missiles that we can shoot at different things, but we don't really carry bombs, but we do have a weapon system being the jamming pods, right? And we exercise those on every flight in those theaters. So
Okay.
that's the interest. We were supporting on every flight in very specific ways. So convoys, we were making sure bombs didn't blow up next to them as much as we could. And then shutting down radios and comms for troops in contact, and guys going in and kicking open doors and taking bad guys down. So those were interesting. We always were in contact with controllers on the ground, so guys that were embedded with those forces. So
Wow.
we got sort of the real-time update of what was going on and things that they needed. And the feedback we got from them was pretty good. So we were happy
Wow.
there.
We just get up and go talk on the radio, Rob.
Yeah.
Listen to
What have you done lately?
yeah, it's like look what he does. That's fascinating. Were you ever shot at?
Yes, sometimes taking off out of those locations. We always had a sort of a departure that we would do in various directions, and that's low and fast and different, maneuvers that we could do to be unpredictable. But yeah,
Did you ever return with a unplanned modification on your airplane?
not from bullets or anything like that.
Okay, good.
From some of that speed, in a prowler.
Yeah.
It looked like a tuna can. It peeled back a
Wow.
Oh, okay. A little
but
too fast. there.
Nothing crazy like that.
Well, that's fantastic. Of course, and that's I think just about everybody who comes on board and takes command of the base has flown in some capacity somewhere, because it's a naval air station. So now as you transition into, and we jokingly refer to it as the mayor of NAS Meridian, but in fact that's what you are. You're kind of the chief administrative officer for that community up there, and the luxury of not having to answer to a council. So kind of like everyone's at the behest of the mayor.
There you go.
Up there. So what is that like in the transition?
It's definitely it's nice to be at an air station when you screen for 06 command and installation command. You don't know. I mean, I had a list of 16 available installations that I could select from.
Really?
Some of which
16.
were, yeah,
that you got to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's like
Wow.
everything in your military career. You can sort of put down your dream sheet, but they tell you what you're going to do, and you just you go do it. So
Yeah.
and it's all worked out. For me, it's great to be back here and at an air station, which that was something I wanted. Air station means that I can potentially fly, which I get to get back in the T-45, and that's great. But
Fantastic.
on that list was Guantanamo Bay, Great Lakes up in near Chicago, Sigonella, Italy, and places all around. But that being said, coming to an air station, that's something that I've known my full career, flying for 20 years. I've been based at these. I didn't realize how much went into running an air station, but I knew sort of the little things that the ins and outs of what I was involved with. The airfield, some of the facilities like the MWR facilities and gym and stuff like that. But
Yeah. Is this a good time when I mention the golf course?
Here we go.
yeah, yes,
Oh
yeah.
gosh.
Penny,
Yeah.
is this a good
I
time?
was waiting on it.
We used to, when you were here 21 years ago,
Yes.
you remember what a fantastic facility
yes.
we had
Yes, I
there
do.
that
I
was
do.
open to the public, and they
Yes.
were a lot of camaraderie among.
I think that
Sure.
wire cuts the feed
Yeah.
right there.
How can I jam this guy's mic? How can I jam this guy's
Yeah,
mic?
which one is it?
Okay.
Music on.
I know that's beating a dead horse there. I get it. All right, but anyway.
Hey, you're consistent.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. There you go. And we'll talk about that later. But right now, okay, so you're, and I get it. The familiarity is a fact. That was a key factor. You're coming back to a place which is pretty cool. Now, in this capacity, how many people, when we talk about you being the mayor, how many citizens, how many military members are on board in NAS Meridian?
Daily just over 3,000, 3,200. It's a big part of the supporting the mission. We do about 20. Well, I don't know. I won't. I can't quote it, but many flights a year, right? So the support that goes in there down at the flight line, a lot of employment there, and student throughput, as well as our unique A schools that we have training logistic and administrative enlisted folks. That's about that throughput there is about 2,500 per year on the Navy side, and close to 1,000 for the Marine Corps side. So. And then our third agency is the Counter Drug Academy, Mississippi Guard, and they bring in actually up to about 7,000 students a year. So there's a lot of people coming and going, but day to day about 3,000 people support.
Fantastic. Folks, if you just joined us, we are visiting with Captain Luke Davis. He is the commanding officer at NAS Meridian and the skipper, as they say. And he's in charge of all that real estate up there. We got to take a minute to talk about one of our sponsors real quick. So we do have to pay the bill, but want to say a big shout out to, is it Martin Roofing next on the list?
Absolutely. Martin Roofing. Roofing's been done right with Martin for over 30 years. They're locally owned and operated, licensed right here in the state, and they stand behind all of their work from start all the way through cleanup. And, of course, they'll offer you free estimate and inspections for damage. And call Doug Martin Sr. or Jr. today at 601-485-5920. They'll be glad to help you with all your roofing needs. They're members of the Better Business Bureau, and they'll get you an estimate and work with insurance companies as well. 485-5920. That is Martin Roofing. Give them a call today.
All right. Of course, Captain Davis, you talking about your 24 years, and you're expected to probably be here another 3, so that takes you to 27. What's kind of in the back of your mind after NAS Meridian?
We'll see. At the moment, we'll see what kind of, as they always do, dangle a carrot in front of you.
Okay. Yeah.
I like that.
If it's a juicy carrot, then we'll go after it. But,
See what happens.
Yeah.
You kind of feel you're kind of in the driver's seat in that regard, aren't you?
At this point, yeah, it feels good.
There you go. Very
Finally
good.
have a little bit of a say, right?
We always like to get your perspective, those that come on the show here, and of course, in every position, you know that people have to come along and take your place one day. So, what advice would you give to parents or grandparents out there that have a youth that's trying to figure out what they want to do in life? What would you say about the career of a Navy or any military?
Well, for me, it was a dream, right? And if people are considering it and have it as hold it as a dream or something that they're really aspiring to do, then for parents, yeah, just support them, and let them get after it. For the people pursuing it, just realize that it's a heck of a commitment. It's there for a reason. We're supporting the United States and our way of life, and it's worth it. So, but get your quals, show up to work on time every day, and get after it.
Attention, Gen Zers. Attention, Gen Zers. Get up, show up for work on time.
Get your quals.
Get your quals.
The basics.
No,
Yeah.
these are things you're going to have to earn. No, and I'm sorry, I just kind of derailed there a little bit. But in all seriousness, though, a great career for somebody who's trying to decide where they want to go in life. Investigate it. Go and talk to a recruiter, or go. I'm sure that. You can talk to Captain Davis or one of his staff members if you want a question about career in the Navy. So all that's very good. Is there any advice you want from us?
Penny.
Help me, Penny. Help me, Penny.
The golf course.
Yeah.
I guess I think you probably know, since you've been here before, and plus since you've arrived, I think you'll find that this community really, really supports Navy, supports military. And I guess if we could give you any advice, just make sure you interact with us and just embrace us, because we're not your enemy out here. We really appreciate the folks at NAS Meridian, and we would not want to see our community without it.
That's everyone's been great, and that's times 2 from my early experience here, getting my wings, and then coming back immediately. Linking up with you in the Navy League and just the folks downtown. And all around the community, people have been really great and welcoming. So happy to be here, and great support from the community. So
Well,
we are appreciative.
Well, we are glad that you and your family are here, and we just encourage you, please don't jam our radio signal. We need to stay on the air, and in the meantime, we just wish you, sir, the very best here on board NAS Meridian, and just have fun.
All right. Happy to be here, and thank you.
All right. It's Mornings in Meridian. Rob, we're going to take a break here for Fox News,
we'll
and
do
then
it.
we'll come back.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, sir. I guess the only thing you need to watch out for at NAS Meridian is a certain Master Chief retired that
you
Master
went there.
Senior.
You went
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did that. I don't know if he'll call next hour
He
or not,
might.
but anyway. All right, we'll be back after Fox News. Stay with us. Okay, folks, we're back. If you missed the first hour, you missed a good one. Mm-hmm. I mean, a good one. We had, who are we? Well, I'm Roger B. Say hi to Rob Atkinson.
Hey, good morning, folks.
I tell you what, I like Thursdays. Thursdays are good. We're having this is Friday Eve.
And it's been a 4-day week, too.
I know it seems like it's supposed to be like, it's a short week. No, to me, it seems like it's been a full week already.
Yeah.
I've had a lot going on.
Yeah, I have too. So, yeah, in a way, I could agree with that.
But that's okay, which goes to show you that's more reason to have a 4-day week because they feel like 5 days.
Right.
Anyway, we're glad you're out there, folks, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of things here coming up this hour, and we want to hear from you what's on your mind, so we'll give you our number. It is 601-485-9191, 601-485-9191. And this show is brought to you in part by good sponsors like
Battery One Source.
Oh, if you want to start something, go to Battery One Source on North Frontage Road between exit 152 and 153.
693-1500. Of course, they got batteries for everything, folks. Watch batteries, remotes, cell phones. What do we all say about laptop computers? If you don't have a battery for that laptop computer, as Charles always say, it's nothing but a desktop computer at that point. They've got battery tenders, maintainers, cables. They'll test your batteries free of charge. And the thing about it is when they install a new battery, the process, they are fast about it, too. And if you don't need a new battery, if they test it, they're going to get you back on the road pretty fast, too. And cell phones, we all walk around with these cell phones, and they got these thin little faces on them that are so fragile. If you drop it and you don't have a case on it, you might end up with a crack on that cell phone facing there. And they are the best folks to go get your cell phone repaired. They got Sed there who can get you squared away, of course. And once you get that front of the cell phone fixed, you can always get you a nice cell phone case. They got flashlights, accessories, other items like that. They're open, actually open just a few minutes ago there at Battery One Source. Of course, North Frontage Road, 693-1500. Oh, don't forget, golf cart service and repair is also offered at Battery One Source. Appreciate John Dufour and them down at Battery One Source. Been taking care of us for years. Go by and see them, North Frontage Road.
I think Dr. Monahan covered the subject fully. You had a chance to read it. I don't have anything to add to it, and I think it should answer any reasonable question.
All right, that's Mitch McConnell saying he intends to fully serve out his term as senator in Kentucky. Hey, Rob. Hey, Rob. Wait, what? Here. Maybe
that's terrible. I shouldn't do that.
Maybe,
that's awful.
Maybe you should sit down.
That's awful.
Oh, you are sitting down.
Yeah. I shouldn't do that. That's terrible.
That's what people say after they do something that they know they wanted to do, but they did it anyway, and then they say they shouldn't have done it.
You're right.
But anyway, no, what do you think about that? Mitch McConnell saying that, doctor says I can do it.
Folks, look at the dinosaurs that are in office right now. Let's be honest about this. Well, come on. McConnell, Feinstein, all these, Nadler, all these folks have been there forever. It's all about, I could be there as long as I want to be, and it's about who's going to get their biggest slice of the pie up there. And gosh almighty, we need some fresh blood in a lot of these positions up there in Washington. But it is a big concern.
To make on that subject.
What do you say to those who are?
I'm going to finish my term as leader, and I'm going to finish my Senate term.
Must have gave him a Red Bull yesterday when he said that.
I have no announcements to make on that subject.
What do you say to those who are?
I'm going to finish my term as leader, and I'm going to finish my Senate term.
Coming out strong there, Mitch.
He did say, I'm finishing out my Senate term.
Yes.
So is he going to run again?
No,
I
don't think so.
I don't think so either.
That was code right there. I'm going to finish out my term, and I know I'm done after that.
So the rest of you folks up there that have been there as long, take that as a hint. You need to go too.
Yeah. Well, we've had this debate for many, many years. It's about the we want those term limits, but we want the seniority too. So what? How do we do that there, Rob?
I don't know.
We want our guy. We want our guy in charge of the committees, and
I'd love to get a pulse of what the folks in that district in Kentucky feel like. What are their thoughts on it right now? the biggest debate right now in the presidential cycle is the age of Joe Biden going into this next election cycle. And now, this has really not gotten a lot of attention. Mitch McConnell and Feinstein, too, of course, she's had a multitude of health problems as well. I mean, she's had these moments too, where she's been in front of a camera, and staffers have to help her along as well. So,
what we're going to do in the chamber, in the Senate chamber, we're going to take some of the seats out and make room for gurneys, so I can just kind of wheel the senators in when they need to have.
What is it in the cartoons where they put like Daffy Duck in the Acme lung or whatever? They're going to have all those lined up. They're like, I vote yay.
How does he vote? Can you see? He's giving a wait a minute, thumbs. No, that's it. No,
just get a button and go. Doop.
He was just checking his IV. 601-485-9191. Let's take a phone call here. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome, sir.
One of your callers had sent me a bit of their information about someone at the station referred to as Tommy's Bond.
Tommy's Bond.
Okay, yeah. You talking about Tommy's Tattle?
Tommy's Bond.
No, Tommy's Bond. I got you.
Bond.
Okay. Bond.
B-O-N-D.
Yeah,
the
I got
Bond.
My word is my bond.
Your bond.
I see.
Yeah. And it caused me to compose my manifesto on the topic.
All right. Now we have Front Porch's manifesto here.
That's right, and I already read it one time. Unless I have a McConnell freeze, it takes me about 1 minute.
Well, why don't you read your manifesto here? That would be helpful to our listeners, I think.
Yeah.
And if you freeze up, we'll wait for you.
It even has a title called Mississippi Legal Bond Language.
What?
Oh, Mississippi legal bond language.
Yeah, you can come by my office and I'll give you a copy of it.
Now it's starting to get creepy here.
Yeah. Now you sound like Biden whenever he's like, let me tell you right now.
I promise I won't try to snip your hair.
Okay, good. Ooh. Well, I don't have any hair, so there you go.
Or head.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Well, what I have here from Mississippi Legal Bond Language is what Tommy Carden, Trey Hairston, and other reps of the bond community do with their catch-all contents allowed under lawlessness is so wrong-headed as the acceptance and usage of broad bond language, a.k.a. everything in the kitchen sink, dismisses the moral character, transparency, and trust of our boards, commissions, and councils, which are led to employ underhanded and vague language in their intents for the usage of taxpayer money, which not only steals away the necessity of good stewardship, but creates a burden on the taxpayer voter to have faith in the process and the constant burden and need to snake the drain of all the slop they dump in our kitchen sink.
Ooh. Wow.
Did you send that to the Star? Be printed?
I did not. I haven't done that in some time now.
Yeah.
Will it be printed?
Well, it was read here, though. We know that. We
Yeah.
know it was read here.
That's right.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, it's not off base at all, because, I mean, when you read the actual language of the bond right here, we've got a copy of it. We've been talking about it. I mean, you want to talk about broad terms, paints a pretty broad brush, not just the CTE building, but all these other items like purchasing, erecting, repairing, equipping, and remodeling school buildings, related facilities, including a new career technical education center. And then purchasing land. I mean, it just keeps going on and on.
And by the way, we're going to do
By the way, we're going to do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And by the way, the CTE building is in there, but it's kind of lost in there a little bit.
Yeah, somewhere around the bottom.
It is toward the bottom.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to read what you have. I don't want you to read it on the air again, but it's just, you write, sir, in such a way, and I know this is intentional because, it's all about the language, right? But you write in such a way that it does take a couple of reads to kind of fully digest it.
Well, I was accused of plagiarism in high school.
Yeah.
All right.
At the time, I was insulted, and later, upon reflection, I decided it was actually a compliment.
Well, I guess if we go to the old scriptural adage that says there's nothing new under the sun, how does plagiarism fare under that banner?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you go to church and hear the preacher. I mean, you're only hearing the same story told a different way.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
Well,
Which is good. We got to do that, but I mean, that's just really what's happening.
Well, what precinct do you vote in? I've got all the precincts here.
Well, I'm like Hazmat. I'm not eligible to vote in it, but as I hear the community discussion, it's just such a redundant, stinking problem.
Yeah.
So you must have SEP in your voting card, SEP in the corner of your card.
Yes, I would have that.
Yes.
I did see yesterday there was a couple of posts made on Facebook. Folks were asking the questions, are we going to have any kind of, public forums or anything like that? And I think that is still in the works, where the county school district is going to have some public forums. And I don't know if they're going to have them at the school or whatnot, but that is in the works right now. And Roger, they better hurry up and get that figured out because we're less than a month away from this thing here. So
chugging along.
Yeah, chugging along here.
Yeah, that broad language just allows such a great opportunity to mismanage the money and need more. It's like a drug addict. The more they spend, the more they need, the more they want.
And I guess somebody brought out to me the other day, yesterday, kind of remind us that, there's already a built-in tax increase whenever they come through and reassess your property values.
Yeah.
Because they generally go which direction?
Yeah, for sure.
So, you talk about the mills all you want to, but just keep in mind, you raise the millage, then the next time their assessor comes through, I think, about once every 3 or 4 years they do
something like that, yeah.
So then there'll be another increase because the millage, while it may stay the same, your tax base goes up.
Yeah, it was 10 years, and Gene Damon and a group of engineers threatened to sue on the state of Mississippi if they didn't change it to what we have now. And so rather than do the court lawsuit thing, they just did it.
But anyway,
and I read the review on that too. And by the way, that thing that they wanted, this 4-year thing, most of the counties in the state have no change. They're pretty much just what they are, static. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And then we incur all the cost of all of the reappraisals. So it is really only, how do you say, beneficial to the few counties that experience a grand gain or loss. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Thanks, Forrest.
Forrest, we appreciate you. Yeah, that's our new name.
Anytime, my friend.
All right, sir. Well, listen, there's a lot of people out there that share your sentiment, according from what the feedback we're getting. So we appreciate your comments today.
Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. Yes, sir.
All right.
As you were. 601-485-9191, 601-485-9191. Put you right there in it. And what I'm also hearing too, Rob, is I'm hearing a lot of people, the people that I actually talk face-to-face to about this issue, they're saying, okay, yes, a need for more technical training, more career technical career training. But let's do it within our existing means, which are already maxed out. So what they're saying, they're not against better education, but it really just boils down to no tax increase. That's their concern.
I mean, we had a caller bring it up yesterday and several more times. I mean, they just built a facility over in Demopolis from the ground up for what, $3 or $4 million.
Yeah, and I don't know what all that entails.
I don't know what all that entails. This seems like it's a more complex project, but still, when you're getting $8 million from the state already, and then the potential of $12.5 million from a bond election, I mean, we're tipping the scale at over $20 million, and then you always ask the questions when you look at the general budget for the Lauderdale County School District. It went up from, 50-something million to 90 in about a 2.5-year span. It raises a lot of questions with taxpayers here in the county, like, what are we doing with the money? Let's get more transparency. And I'm not saying the county school district has not been transparent. They've got a lot of information out
Oh,
there.
yes, it's on
their website. If you go to their website, there's a ton of information, but there's still some unanswered questions.
You go to the website and they'll tell you how much your taxes are going to go up.
Exactly.
So that's kind of transparent there.
Yeah,
so that's
but there's
good.
still some unanswered questions.
601-485-9191 is the phone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. I wish I had the gift for brevity that your previous caller has. He got a whole manifesto out in 1 minute, and I can barely get through saying my name in a minute, which I won't do.
There you go.
I understand, sir, but you thank you for checking in with us. Well, what would you like to express in as brief words as possible?
Just how we got to this point,
Yeah.
to where
Explain.
really respected members of the school board and a respected law firm, almost 100 years old, representing them, could do something with this kind of chicanery. I think that's the word, isn't it? Chicanery? Something
Chicanery?
like that.
We'll go with it.
Well, and the thing is, it is so similar to the way they passed the 2% food and beverage tax back in 2016 by having everybody only come to the city hall to vote. Mm-hmm. And you know what percentage of the entire voting population voted? 11.9%. In other words, and Mr. Luke, who was president of the EMBDC at the time, was bragging about the fact that they had gotten about 2/3 of the people to vote for this 2% food and beverage tax, but it was 2% of less than 12% of the eligible voters because they had held it at one precinct, the city hall, where nobody had gone to vote before. And that's the way this is being set up.
So you're
Four
suggesting
places where most nobody goes, so that they can guarantee that they will get the win that they're looking for, and they may only get 10 to 12% of the voters in the county to go to those schools.
That's one thing I was going to. That's one thing I was going to ask. How many percentage of the county voters you think are going to come out for this? Are going to make the trip?
Four schools. Yeah. They've got to go to 4 schools that they never go to vote in the middle of school day when kids are going to school and parking and everything else. If it's 15%, I would be shocked.
And the thing about it,
eligible voters.
And the thing about it is, folks that like to vote, like when the polls open in the morning, how are you going to do that when all the kids are getting into school that day? I mean, where are you supposed to park? I mean, you got school buses rolling in. I mean, it's the whole security part.
Traffic is out there.
Yeah.
Traffic is up big time. I mean, it is set up. And the thing is, it's so obvious that it's set up to reduce the voters that show to those that are employees, friends, close by, the ones really for this, they'll get there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they shouldn't need to do that. They got another election and set that everybody's going to their own precincts 1 month later. They just need to do a better job of explaining why it's so important to have this extra $7 million over and above the $13 million, which was the original projected cost for just the tech center. Now they're up to $20.5 million they want to spend. It doesn't make it. It makes a lot of sense if you know what they're trying to do, which is to have that slush fund of about an extra $6 or $7 million to do what they want to.
Well, I made the comment.
I've been watching this.
Yeah, I made the comment last week about the way this voting process is going. Obviously, everybody said, "Why don't we just have this on the November ballot?" But I looked up the school calendar last week, and they have a fall break a week after this election. And so if we're worried about the security issues with folks being on campus to vote that are not usually on the property, if you want to have this vote so bad in October, why don't you wait an extra week whenever the school is actually closed and it's just the voting on campus? But no, we can't do that because all of the built-in vote is not going to be there.
Well, let's do the numbers here, and Tommy, maybe you can correct me, but I'm just assuming now if we have 40,000+ registered voters in Lauderdale County combined, only about half of those would be eligible to vote in this election, at this nomination of the bond issue. So that's 20,000. I'm very round
Correct.
figures here.
In the neighborhood, that's neighborhood.
So
if
10% show up to vote, that's how many? That's 2,000.
Maybe.
Now, how many? Roughly speaking, there's about assuming that everybody who's employed by the school district is going to vote in favor. That's 1,000 voters right there.
And only need 1,200 of that 20,000 to have the 2,000 to have that 60%.
Yep. So
So this whole thing could be swung by 1,200 voters.
So we
that
can't.
could be.
Yeah. So just briefly again, just trying to dice that math up real quick. If you had 20,000 registered voters outside the city limits that can vote for this, if 10% show up, that's 2,000, and you have 1,000 that are actually employed by the school district overall.
And who's to say all those employees are not actual county voters? They may live outside of the county school district.
There could be some of that.
It'd probably be a handful, just a handful maybe.
But I'm just saying nobody can be too surprised if this voting precinct determination, this special election, is not a strategy. Mm-hmm. You get it. You understand why it's this way.
Sure.
Kind of goes back to what you said, Tommy, about the bond issue in the city. At City Hall.
It's plain as if it were written on the wall right across from me, except it's not that plain unless people have really been paying attention and understand the thinking behind this. And anyway, it's just really, really sad that it's come to this where such respected people will go to this kind of an extreme to guarantee that they get an extra $7 million of slush fund money.
An extra 7.
Well, $13 million is what was projected to cost of the tech center that they wanted to build initially. Yeah. They got $8 million from the state, so I guess since they got that, they can figure, well, we can just go for almost the $13 million it was going to cost anyway, and that all that whole $8 million from the state will almost cover it.
And by the way, let's not forget, too, when they say from the state, probably about half of the voters in Lauderdale County paid state income taxes. So, it's kind of like some of that money's coming, some of the money they paid through state tax is going to be coming back through there.
That's true.
Just saying. Just saying.
Yes, sir. If it isn't one thing, it's 16.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm just, I think the public debate is good. Our phone lines are open for people who are for the bond or against the bond. We want to hear from all sides. So thank you for checking in with us.
I'll get off. Thank you.
Well, we got a break coming up, but thank you for the call.
A couple of things real quick. We haven't mentioned this, but I think it should be known. A lot of folks are like, well, how did the school board vote on this with the bond issue? And I don't think we've really talked a whole lot about that. But, Roger, it was a 4-1 vote in favor of going this route with the bond issue vote. There was one school board member that did vote against it, and that was Michael Wilson. He stated that he was for the CTE but not for a special election. So one of the school board members out of those 5 said, you know what, I'm in favor of the building, the educational part of it, but as far as this special election goes, no, I'm not. Yeah. So just be aware of that when we go for school board elections. If you're dissatisfied with who you've got representing you on the school board, there was a 4-1 vote there. And by the way, Donna Jill just also sent us some information on absentee ballots.
Yes.
Absentee ballots are now available for voters for the October 3rd special school bond election. Check your calendar. Make sure you will be in town and you won't have a conflict. The circuit clerk's office will be open on a Saturday, October the 23rd. Actually, she's got October 23rd on here and 30th. I think that's for the general election, I think, coming up in November. But, absentee ballots are now available if you need to vote absentee for the circuit clerk's office. So she sent that to us a little bit ago. So,
and, of course, and again, here could be an argument for the school board. They say, well, you talk about the voting locations. People are willing to drive into town to the courthouse to vote absentee. So that's a long drive for some people in the far reaches of the county, and they'll do that. So
for someone like me, I'm already on my way to town anyway. So going out to where I would usually vote at is way out of the way.
More likely to be in town at any given time than going to a schoolyard somewhere.
Exactly.
Okay. Gotcha.
And to be honest with you, when I go to vote on the 3rd, I know the school property fairly well, but where can I park? Where can I not park? I mean, we need information on that. I mean, there's just so many questions still on the plate right now. So,
yeah, well, I just like the little acknowledgement there that when you say the state gave.
Well, we just got
remember the state is you. You are the state of Mississippi, and you pay tax. Well, half of you pay income taxes to the state of Mississippi.
Just got a confirmation on that. September 23rd and the 30th is when Donna Jill will have the doors open there for absentee voters. So
right.
that'll be those 2 Saturdays right there, 8 until noon, if you want to vote absentee on those Saturdays right there. So folks, there you go. If you want to vote absentee, those ballots are now available.
And you mentioned the vote by the school board member that in favor of CTE without. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing people. Yes, we need a program.
Yeah.
But we don't have to have the Cadillac right now. We can drive. We can drive the Chevy or the Ford. And, and work our way up.
Sure.
Of course, Cadillacs are going to go away. They're going to be all electric one day. Who knows what's going to happen to Cadillac?
About that.
I'm sorry. See how easy a squirrel gets my attention.
Oh no,
look, a squirrel.
Oh no, you didn't.
Okay. Anyway, it's Mornings in Meridian, and we want to. Speaking of automobiles, not all Toyota dealerships are created equal, and so we invite you to take that drive up to Philadelphia and check out the deal at Doc's Toyota.
When you come up on the hill there at the big stoplight, when you make the turn there on Highway 16 West, it's like the gates just open and you see the dealership up there on the hill, and you're like, oh, there's Doc's. I mean, it is.
The angels are singing.
I mean, it really is.
Okay,
I mean, it's a beautiful thing. So, but it's a great new dealership there on Highway 16 West. If you haven't checked it out yet, make the short drive to Philadelphia, and you can also shop online at docstoyota.com. They got a lot of good new and used inventory there on the website, and folks, it's always important. You got to keep that Toyota serviced and up to shape there. And they got a fantastic service department that's open till 5 o'clock on weekdays. Of course, they're open a few hours on Saturdays as well, 8 to noon. Give them a call, 601-600-3786. That's 601-600-3786. Online, docstoyota.com. Highway 16 West in Philadelphia. There's no deal like a Doc's deal.
Yeah. There you go. Mornings in Meridian. We're going to take a quick break. We've got to come back. We would love to come back, so don't go anywhere. We enjoy being with you. And again, I just want to remind you, any questions you have about the Lauderdale County School Board bond issue, the school board on the school district on their website, a lot of information. You should check it out. There, Charlie.
Wonder who he's talking about.
Charlie Daniels. All right. Just an interesting side note, Rob. Riding my motorcycle this last weekend. Mm-hmm. This was on Labor Day. It was Monday. And I'm driving along Highway 11 there just right at Epps, Alabama.
Yeah?
Crossing the Tom Bigby Waterway.
Yeah.
So I just stop and kind of stretch and, pull alongside there, and I'm looking down the bridge, looking at the water and just kind of enjoying the air. It was a pretty day.
Yeah.
And there's about 4 boats on the beach down there, and this song was playing on their big boombox down there.
Great.
I mean, it was
love it.
So I'm just standing there on the bridge, looking at the water and watching them swim and playing that song. Leave that long-haired country boy alone.
I love it. Love it.
Mornings in Meridian. Let's take a phone call, 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller.
MAGA morning to American Patriots.
Speaking of long-haired country boy.
Pretty appropriate song.
Oh,
It was appropriate for Has.
What in the world happened here? Oh.
Well, it was good, Roger, that y'all had the ankle clankers and the barnacle busters on. They're just kind of air guard wannabes. They love their toy boats.
Listen to you,
But
man.
I want to give a hazmat salute out to Mr. T. Tommy on his manifesto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to back and honor that point. But I brought in the secret weapon. I called Mrs. Joe a chunky last night and caught her in the blind about all this. So I put a bee in her bonnet, and she went completely livid. She's in full hissy fit mood.
Listen,
So she's going to call in tomorrow after she goes to Donna Jill's and gets all the specs. I told her, I said, it's so confusing. I said, the statement on that ballad, a greased eel ain't got as much wiggle room as that statement.
Greased eel.
It has not. And it took some lawyer or
We gotta write down these.
to write that.
We've got to write down these hasisms.
Hasisms? Yeah.
Write down greased eel.
You know, and it at the end of reading it, you're just as confused before you started.
Yeah.
So, you know, I hope y'all's air conditioner works good tomorrow. Tweak it down low where it's blowing blue smoke and snowballs, and have something cold to drink.
Turn it down to
But
blue.
Miss Joe is a good pony, and I didn't have to spur and rake her down very much to get her running. But I guarantee you, once she reads all this, she'll be up and at 'em. But, you know, let's just do stuff simple, man, and just put the facts out there. Let the people vote at the general election. How simple is that, man? I'm a simple dog. I am. I just want the truth, and this ain't it.
Well,
Roger.
Yeah, go ahead, Has.
Oh, go ahead. Put it on.
Well, Has, I was just going to tell you, when we got this notice from Donna Jill yesterday, I mean, trying to read through this, trying to explain to folks on your voter registration card, if you don't have this on it, if you don't have that on it, you can vote
that's
here. You
right.
can. You got to make things, like you said, I have to agree 110%, but you got to make things simple for folks out there. We're creatures of habit.
Like a PhD nuclear physicist trying to talk to a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
People are used to doing it the same old way, and they're going to be there anyway. This is an attempt to stack the deck in their favor. It's voter suppression, and it's a disenfranchisement of the voters. But there is payback. If this goes through, next time that school board comes up in elections, put the bomb in the road. Roger that.
Oh, mercy. Boy, leave that long-haired country boy alone. He gave us a fair warning, Rob, that Joe could be checking in here tomorrow.
All right.
But let's take a moment just to kind of catch our breath and say that, insurance coverage.
Oh, yes.
That can be, I think it's probably more confusing now than it's ever been. So you really need somebody quite knowledgeable and friendly and somebody who's on your side. So let's see, State Farm is on your side. Jeffrey Wilson at State Farm is on your side.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Wilson Insurance.
I love Jeffrey. Of course, here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you can save an average, and get this, $889. That is great stuff right there. State Farm agent Jeffrey Wilson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in Meridian. Call Jeffrey today. Of course, his office is located at 2401 Highway 39 North, just a little bit of ways away there from EMEPA. And, of course, his number is 601-483-8253. Average annual per household savings is based on 2019 national survey by the State Farm Agency policyholders. That's pretty darn good savings right there. $889 when you combine home and auto with Jeffrey Wilson State Farm. And, of course, like I said, he's got all the knowledge when it comes to all the new things going on in the insurance world. And Jeffrey is involved in so much here in our community. And that's the best part about it. You got someone that's very knowledgeable in what he does, and plus, he has roots right here in Meridian. He loves the community, and you want to do business with a good community insurance agent. And that is Jeffrey Wilson State Farm, 601-483-8253, located at 2401 Highway 39 North. Stop by and see Jeffrey Wilson State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
There you go. Like a good neighbor. And Jeffrey Wilson is just that.
Yes, sir.
It's 601-485-9191. If you'd like to weigh in on this, that, and the other thing, we'd love to hear from you. That's we've got a little show left.
I really thought, I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, once we got past this runoff, it was going to be, okay, we got a ways to go before another election. Who would have ever thought we would have had who would ever thought we'd have been completely wrong on that one?
Wrong answer.
Wrong answer.
Time to do a special election.
Donna Jill is definitely getting her money's worth down there with a primary runoff, school board, the board election, or the runoff for this and that, and now general election. I mean,
not to make her more busy than she is,
Yeah.
but you brought up something I thought was kind of interesting. It's like, okay, since the precincts are so far and wide around the county, can you vote absentee because you're not going to be in Clarkdale that day?
I'm going to be out of town.
You're going to be 21 miles away from Clarkdale.
I mean, I'm serious about that. I know you have. I mean,
yeah.
you can use a lot of different reasons behind voting absentee, but I know if it's a doctor's visit or hospital stay, or there's all kind of reasonings behind. But
yeah.
If you don't want to drive halfway across the stinking world to go vote for one thing, can you do that?
You happen to be in town the next few weeks, and you say, okay, I'll just go by the courthouse and vote. Is that legitimate?
I'm in Meridian every day. I drive from Meehan to Meridian for work every day. Can I just go down to the courthouse and vote absentee instead of making that trip across the county? I'm sorry,
Or just say, I'm planning to be out of town that day, and then if it doesn't work out, that's fine, but,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a legitimate question.
And that's no matter how you're voting.
Once again, another question to add to the list. Seems like that list is stretched around the corner now.
We'll try to have that answer before Joe calls tomorrow.
Good Lord, man. It's just like, there's more questions than answers on this deal. So, a lot of questions.
Well, a little bit on the good news for you folks. Wendy's restaurant chains rolls out their pumpkin spice frosty.
Ugh. No.
It's getting that time of year again.
No.
Rob, it's the fall. Of course, what do we think of in fall? We think of potpourri, and we think of pumpkin spice and little crackling fires, and of course, cooler weather, hopefully.
Ain't that crap?
But Wendy's restaurant rolls out a pumpkin spice frosty. It's for the first time they've tried this. So we've already gotten Rob's review, and he hasn't even tasted it yet.
You've got chocolate and vanilla. Don't try to change anything down there.
Now, it won't be available until next Tuesday, Rob, so don't run down there today to try it, okay?
Well, the machine may be broken anyway.
The company said that the frozen treat introduces hints of pumpkin flavor and spices like cinnamon and nutmeg to the familiar and creamy frosty texture. The pumpkin spice frosty could brew coffee drink. A pumpkin spice frosty cold brew coffee drink will also be available starting next week.
There's that cold brew again.
Yeah. Coffee's supposed to be hot. Just so you know.
Pumpkin spice
coffee's supposed to be
frosty. That ain't right.
Well, let's give it a chance. Let's see what happens. It could be,
Yeah,
like,
go try it.
what happens if you have pumpkin pie and put vanilla ice cream on top? It kind of starts blending together after a while, Rob, we caught Rob speechless.
Just stick to the classics, man. I mean,
You might like chocolate and Neller?
Yeah. Keep it simple.
Just keep.
Didn't we just talk about that? Got to keep things simple.
Yeah, I tell you what, this long-haired country boy ain't gonna get no spice.
I ain't got no long hair, but I ain't trying that.
We're gonna take a break. Be right back. Stay with us, Roger, along with my main man, Rob. Yeah, a little bit of Steve Miller Band there. And by the way, if I'm on a jet airliner, I want it to take me way far away. That's why I'm on it.
And hopefully nobody has the poopy pants.
Oh, no! Please don't do it. Don't. Oh, no.
Oof.
Yes, I got you. You know,
Smell that.
I mean, look at if you want to just see the de-evolution, I call it. If you just want to see the de-evolution of society, go on YouTube and look at old clips of air travel and how people literally put on their professional Sunday best to go flying. It was a big deal.
What's professional anymore?
And now it's like, you know, come in there with your sandwich you just got at the deli, and you sit down in there, and you're, all kind of, it's like a, well, they used to dress up, too, to get on the bus lines, too, but now it's been like a bus line in the air. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's just, don't get me started on that. I tell you what you can get me started on. Tell me, let's think happy thoughts.
Yeah.
Tell me all the good things you can find at Truckers Supply.
Oh, man. You go down there looking for one thing, guess what? You're going to walk out with 10 different things at Trucker Supply. So they've got Milwaukee tools, folks, and, of course, they've also got Kinepix tools, channel locks on steroids. Always got to put that out there.
I used them last weekend.
There you go. Full line of the Milwaukee tools, and we mean everything from cordless power tools, saws, drills, impact drills, the list goes on. And Yeti. Folks, if you're looking for a Yeti product, the Carr family's got all of those Yeti products down there, from coolers to those lunch boxes, even the Yeti dog dishes as well. Streamlight flashlights, they've got the entire stock of those down there as well. And Hotsy pressure washers. So if you need to get that pressure washing job done before it gets a little cool, they can get you squared away there at Tool Central at Trucker Supply. Can't miss them, 519 Highway 19 South, right next door to McDonald's. Started in 1969 by D.W. Carr, and they are still rolling there at Trucker Supply. Go by and see them at Tool Central or call them at 693-2316. That is Trucker Supply.
Rob, let me tell you something that I see everywhere I go.
Yeah?
When I walk into this studio, I see a Kyocera copier.
Yes?
When I go home at my office at home, I see a Kyocera copier.
That's a good thing.
And printer. When I go to my church office, I have a Kyocera printer. When I go to the office downtown at Graham Transfer, I see a Kyocera printer.
That's big.
And they all have one name on them.
Purvis?
Purvis Business Machines. Well, that's a bunch of names there, but Purvis.
Right.
And that's one thing I just want to remind you folks. And I can assure you that there is no special promo, no trade, no special reason why I have those copies, other than the fact that I like the service I get from Purvis Business Machines, and I like the folks that are over there taking care of us. So good quality machines, good quality people. You can't go wrong with Purvis Business Machines. And they have the understanding that all of these machines do have to talk to computers, and the computers have to talk to them, and they know all about connectivity. And so all I ever say is just give a call to this number, 601-693-COPY, and they can get you set up with a Purvis Business Machine. It doesn't have to be Kyocera. They have Hewlett-Packard, CopyStar, all these other different brands. And if you, better yet than a phone call, just stop by 4505 Highway 39 and just step into the showroom and take a look at all the different models that would and find the one that would best suit your office needs. That's Purvis Business Machines. That's Purvis. They give service, not excuses.
Yeah, got the website too, gopurvis.com.
Oh, there you go. All right, well, we've already got fair warning that Joe from Chunky may call us tomorrow.
Yeah, has stirred the hornet's nest.
we want you to call us tomorrow. So write this number down, 601-485-9191, 601-485-9191, and give us a call tomorrow, because we're just about out of time today.
NFL starts tonight, Chiefs and Lions, so the NFL season gets rolling over on NBC tonight. So
all right, are we making a bet here? Oh, no, we can't bet on it. But
no. It is legal in Mississippi.
Okay.
Those kind of bets are not.
Probably would have to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs. I guess you say Chiefs.
When you got Patrick at QB, it's always a safe bet.
There it is. That's it for today, folks. Join us tomorrow for more of Mornings in Meridian. In the meantime, here's Rob saying,
well, Glenn Beck is next, folks. Have a great day. And what do you always say?
God bless and buy local.